Hi there, I'm Alex from the Southern Ukulele Store, and today I'm here to talk about a brand that are divisive for many reasons. So you've got people that love them, people that loathe them, and people that just don't know what to think. And that brand is Enya. Enya ukuleles, huge juggernaut of a brand, can be found all over the world, mainly selling direct via Amazon or kind of box shifting websites, and that's probably what's divided opinion, because many people out there have had iffy customer service experiences dealing with them direct and say, well, why aren't you with more dealers? But dealers will say, well, if they're going to sell themselves, it makes it impossible for us to compete. And I'll give you the perfect example of frustration involving Enya, very short. I made a video on the 1st of July last year. It was the most popular video that I've ever made for this channel. And I remember seeing the chart from when I released a video, the chart goes up, and then we did the Enya video and it went all the way up to the sky. Like the graph no longer existed as a graph. It made no sense. And it continues to be a popular video, but eventually I had to unlist it because actually we sold very few Enya Nova U's, despite the rabid and ferocious appetite that people had for information about them. And that's because people were buying them from Amazon in the US or China and then shipping them over, and it was working out at roughly the same price as we were selling them for. And we weren't making out like bandits, we were being very competitive. So Enya as a brand can be quite frustrating for dealers, but they're looking to change that. And here in the UK, we've got a fantastic distributor, a guy called Steve at Red Chili Audio, who likes to bring in select models of Enya, and we are doing them at competitive prices. So we're going to have another go a year on from the Nova U. We're going to look today at the other extremely popular models in the range. We're going to look at the Feather, we're going to look at the EUT-M6, we're going to look at the Mad series, and then we're going to look at the E6, which is the all singing, all dancing, sexy ukulele that you see influencers and Instagrammers have. So we're going to start with the Mad series, the concert and the tenor. Let's have a look now. Okay, first up today, folks, we're going to look at the popular EUC Mad in blue and EUT Mad in black. So the Mad series is extremely cool. We're talking about all solid wood instruments with a stain that makes them very modern, very quirky looking, but at the bones of it is just a really cool, nice ukulele to play. So we have all solid mahogany body, so you've got top, back and sides. And in this light where I'm at right now, it's very hard to show off, but I will do some B-roll footage where you can see that the grain is there. And the colour does differ from one to the next. So this one, for example, has a slightly ocean turquoise look to it, but many of them are a kind of deep blue. It might be worth just getting in touch with us for a photo before you order. We can always send you a photo of the current stock. You have an abalone rosette on that body, and the dimensions are just a tiny bit chunkier than something like a Carla or an Ohana. It just feels a bit more substantial, like a big super concert in many ways. You have a rich light fingerboard and bridge, which is a synthetic material that feels like ebony, with a new bone synthetic nut and saddle. Has a slotted headstock with that Enya logo, and then you have black open gear tuners with gold cogs. The Enya ukuleles are also quite a catch because they come with a very good quality padded gig bag too, and this particular one, the concert size and the tenor size, they have 2 strap buttons out of the box, so you can get straight on playing stood up without any issues at all. And finally, I just want to talk about the nut width. It's advertised on Enya's website as 35mm. This is something I've noticed across the board with Enya, is a lot of their measurements don't actually match up with what we get. The nut width on this model is actually a 36mm nut width, and the string spacing on this particular one is 30mm. I've only measured this one though. So it's just on the bigger side. If you want a concert and you've got slightly bigger hands, this is a great choice. We've got a similar thing here with the Mad black tenor. It's a translucent black, so it's a black stain, but you can still see the wood grain through the finish. You still have the abalone rosette with the rich light fingerboard and bridge. You get a 38mm nut width on this. It's a very wide nut width. You have a 31mm string spacing, so a nice wide string spacing, perfect for a finger picker. And apart from that, all the specs the same. You've got 2 strap buttons, slotted headstock with the open gear tuners, and it comes with a really cool lovely bag. Yeah, so I'm going to give the EUC Mad Concert and Tenor a play and see what you think. Okay, next up today, folks, we're going to look at a series of ukes that just have ultra modern written all over them. This is the EUT-M6. It's available in blue, black and a natural finish, and the coloured finishes are a translucent finish, slightly darker than you're finding on the Mad series. You really do have to shine them in the light to see the grain, but they do look very, very cool, deep coloured, rich, and just unapologetic. Like, these ukes aren't trying to please everybody. Some people are going to love the look, some aren't. You have a Florentine style cutaway, which is the cutaway where you have a sharp point at the edge and it kind of looks like somebody's taken the perfect bite out of the side of the ukulele. You have a mother of pearl rosette on this model. Still a rich light fingerboard and bridge, but you have that really, really beautiful inlay all the way up the fingerboard, and that's something Enya do just as well as anyone else out there right now. You have a 4-in-a-line headstock similar to an electric guitar with gold tuners, close back tuners with amber buttons. Just, it's kind of marketed at the electric guitar kind of, I want to say, like you get like Dean and Ibanez acoustics that look like they're designed for electric guitar players. That's a very unique thing about this model. You have 2 strap buttons again, 2 gold ones on this particular model, and it's another uke that comes with a nice high quality gig bag at a very, very modest price. It's an interesting one on this model because it has the pull through bridge similar to a Snail or a Kala Elite, where you put the string in, pull it out the sound hole, tie a knot and then pull it tight. So not the most convenient of string changing bridges, but the instrument itself is poised, it's tight, it's ready to go, and it's another one with a 38mm nut width and a 31mm string spacing, so chunkier and designed for somebody with bigger hands or somebody who just wants a bit more room. Let's give the EUT-M6 a play and see what you think. Okay, next up, folks, we have the Enya model that seems to generate the most interest. It's the one that many of you have been asking us for well over 6 months. It's the Enya Feather ukulele. Now, first of all, I have some kind of strange problem with saying the word feather. I have to consciously stop and think about how I'm going to say it, or I do just completely bugger it up. So if I say it like I'm on a council estate and I'm like, feather, it's not me being ironic. I can't seem to, I've never learned how to say the word. It's strange, isn't it? Those mental blocks that we have. Anyway, this is all solid mahogany. It has a beveled armrest so that you can kind of get maximum comfort. You'll notice it doesn't have a traditional sound hole. It has the Enya sound hole with the side sound hole here. And yes, that's a preamp, but this is much like the Flight Soundwave system. This is the Enya Acoustic Plus system, which has an inbuilt chorus, delay and reverb. It's very, very good plugged in. It's on the quiet side acoustically, but it's subtle, and that's good because one complaint many people have with the Soundwave is that if you crank everything up, it just kind of it's overpowering and it feeds back. This one's not so prevalent at doing that. You still have the 2 strap buttons, and you have a set neck here, so a kind of through neck design where there's no neck has not been glued on at any point. This is part of the overall build of the instrument, and that in theory creates a more harmonious sound, more sustain, and more all those lovely things that people love to say. You have the Enya logo there on the headstock with a closed back gold tuner with the amber buttons, and you have the 38mm nut width once again with the 31mm string spacing. And the reason it's called the Feather is because of these inlays, these feather inlays on the fingerboard, which I absolutely adore. Like, I think that's my favorite thing about it. Yeah, finally you have a very unique bridge on this. It's got slots that have been carved slightly deeper. They are notched so that you can put your strings in a slot bridge style, but it's still like an electric guitar, and it's still got nice flat breaking point across the bridge saddle. It's very, very powerful plugged in, but not overpowering, and that's clearly by design, so it's worth pointing out. Finally, you have a cutaway here with just that tiniest of scoops so that you can reach the upper frets but also remain comfortable. And if you hold the ukulele like this when you're in your jam or whatever it is you do with your uke, then you know you get no kind of harsh edges. Nothing feels over machined, nothing feels under machined. It feels over machined. It's very, very deliberately over the top, and I think that's cool. The Feather is available in black, blue and natural as of 2021. Let's give it a play and see what you think. And last up today, folks, we have the big brother slash sister of the Feather model we've just looked at. We have the EUT-E6, which is the all singing, all dancing kind of deluxe model that you can get. It's available on a few different finishes. The only one I've managed to snag so far is this blue one here. It's all solid maple, so really lovely grain up close that you can see through the finish. And it just accentuates some of those features on the Feather. So you have front binding here, which is a sandwich of looks like red Paduke and white mother of pearl. It's really ornate but not too flashy on the body trim. You have that side sound hole and the Acoustic Plus system, as well as these really intricate and really full-on inlays going up the fingerboard there. Now, I can't tell what these are supposed to be, and I should have done more research, but I guarantee some clever person in the comment section will tell me exactly what this is. You have the Enya logo with the flowery inlays moving all the way up to the top of the headstock, and once again you have the gold closed back tuners with the amber buttons, and it's another uke with a 38mm nut width with 31mm string spacing. Now, if you've got one of these and you go, no it's not, and you go and measure it, I promise you, I've measured all of these. They have a 38mm nut width and a 31mm string spacing, which completely works against all the information I found online, which just tells me that not that many people are measuring these things, and things change. So you should always buy them from a dealer and not just from someone shifting boxes. Rant over. Anyway, look, I think this is just super cool. It's not cheap, you know. This is around, as at time of filming, this is around the £700 price point. And for £700, you don't have a lot of alternatives, but there is the Pono solid body, which is an Indonesian-made, very ornate-looking ukulele as well, similar shape, with no acoustic sound at all. But I'm actually really impressed with the acoustic sound of this. This ukulele sounds, it's a bit like the Pete Howlett Revelator. It has hidden depths that the slimline body just don't make you think it can have. I'm won over by this model. I was skeptical, but I think that if you've got £700 to put into a ukulele and you want something unique, this really is going to float your boat, and we should give it a play and see what you think. Okay, there you have it, folks. We've looked at 5 popular Enya models, but which was your favourite? All of these are back in stock at the Southern Ukulele Store. The links are in the description if you want to purchase them. If you have any questions, you can call me or one of the team in store on 01202 430 820, or you can email me at alex@ukulele.co.uk. In the meantime though, it's great doing another video for you folks. I can't wait to do another one again next week. Take care.